last month, in December 2014. The rain was dancing with the lights of the street lamps. I felt a little bit sick that evening, just the way I felt the 2 weeks before. Some cold symptoms, nothing serious. I was used to that. And I made this decision to go for a nice and easy run. About 10 kilometers or something like that. Nice and easy, smooth run outside in the dark. Now when I decided to go out for a run, I knew, my body knew, that I would feel better in a moment. Because with those cold symptoms, you know, most of the time, some of you might relate to that if you're a runner or an athlete, it will get better. And I had the hope that I would feel better after running a bit more. But actually, 2 minutes in easily running, that didn't turn out to be true. I felt worse. And not just the cold symptoms like running nose or a headache, but I started to feel the pain here in my heart area. And I decided to move on, to run it away, to get away from this pain. But 5 minutes into it, it got worse. And I started to breathe shallow, something which is a very good idea in running. And I decided to move on and to run that away, because I knew my body, didn't I? But 10 minutes into the run, it got worse and worse and worse. And I had to make the decision. It was raining, it was 1 degree outside. Do I stop here right now, or do I continue for right now? And I decided to move on. Half an hour into it, or 5 kilometers, I decided, well, that's not what I was looking for. It was going to be severe pain. So I had to make the decision, do I go back, walk back, and risk that my cold is becoming worse just because of walking there, or do I slowly run back? And I did the latter. I somehow arrived back then, and immediately got into bed. I hoped that after a good night's sleep, it would be better next morning. But it wasn't. The pain I felt in my heart area was really, really severe. So I decided, well, maybe I should see a doctor. I got there, first time in 2 years, I saw a doctor, and she immediately diagnosed me with pneumonia. Pneumonia is a lung infection of your lungs. Quite serious, she said, so I shouldn't really make fun with that. No sports for at least 2 weeks, nothing, not walking, do nothing, just stay in bed. And that would explain my other symptoms, but it would not explain perfectly why I had these heart pain. So she immediately made an appointment at the cardiologist. Same day, an hour later, I've been there. He did a couple of tests, including an electrocardiogram, and it turned out that I have a 50-50 chance of either becoming completely healthy 2, 3, 4 weeks later, or that my heart actually has been infected in a way that it might be permanent. It might be permanent, he told me, that I will never get back to my 100% power and energy, how you used to know me, and being vital and have all that in me. Until that moment, I felt pain, which with the antibiotics and some painkillers I get used to. I can handle pain. From that moment on, something else has been added. Far worse than the pain I felt the other day. And that was me worrying, me being in fear, me being insecure, me feeling stressed. What if? What if I belong to the one half of this 50% and actually could have something permanent? Something I could never imagine, because I'm all about energy and power, and energy is mine, and vitality, and giving that back to the people. This is my mission. So I wasn't sure. That day, that moment, I added to the pain suffering. I suffered. I suffered from something I wasn't sure whether it would come into my life or not. I was just not sure. Nobody could tell me. So I got home and I felt worse than before that. And it got worse and worse. And I really got all those painkillers into me. I said, what the hell is going on? And then 3 days later, this was just after New Year's, so let's say 10 days from now, I remembered what I've learned in a seminar 3-4 weeks ago, just before we had our last meeting here. I was in Florida in a nice seminar, and I learned something for me, which Anthony Robbins, who is the guy who taught that, all of us participants, is called the power virtues. We were about to figure out what our new power virtues for the new year have been, or should be. And I decided for myself, it should be, I want to be playful. I want to be more playful, and I want to be more faithful. And that day, 10 days ago, I remembered, this was a concept. I wanted to be more playful and more faithful. But how does it belong? How does it fit to suffer, to be stressed out, to be anxious, to be fearful of something what might happen? How does it? Not at all. In that moment, fellow Toastmasters, I made a decision. And my decision was to no longer suffer. Because I finally understood something I am teaching for 10 years. I guess all of you know the difference between pain and suffering. I know that intellectually. But my body, my emotions, I haven't been there. I couldn't feel it. At that moment, I finally got it. Wholeheartedly. My body, my mind, my soul, everything got it. I got the difference between suffering and pain. Pain is something you feel right now, actually. Something, you have a headache, there might be a pain. You can do something about it in this very moment. Suffering, however, is a mental concept. It's a choice. Like feeling stressed out is a choice. Feeling stressed out to speak here on the stage is a choice. Being fearful about something that eventually might happen in the future, or it doesn't. It's a choice. You choose to suffer. I chose to suffer. And that moment, I said, no more. I want to be faithful, I want to be playful, I want to have fun. So I chose to no longer suffer. Now I could have told you this speech like in half a year from now. Hopefully to tell you that I'm completely fine. I don't know. My symptoms, like for the pneumonia, are almost gone. I'm off the antibiotics, I'm okay. I just don't know, my heartache and my heart pain is still there. I just don't know, future will tell. But I tell you what I learned, the number one thing I've learned, I am grateful for what happened. Because without that lesson, I would never have got this distinction. That I have a choice to suffer or not. So I'm no longer suffering from that. I'm okay with that. This is what the universe is having in store for me. I will do the best out of it. The pain is manageable, it's almost gone, and I'm no longer suffering, so I'm feeling much, much better. And I'm feeling here right now to even speak to you about such a delicate topic, because I want you to think about 2015, early 2015. What is your choice for this year? What do you choose to stop doing? What do you choose to do instead? I've chosen to stop suffering 2015. And if there's one thing I can let you with tonight, think about it. This is something you can do for yourself. A gift you give to yourself and all the people around you. If you chose deliberately to stop suffering, think about how that would change your life and the life of the people